got too much class, then do me like assignments.
Good morning. A beautiful morning. We've been given so much energy, a lot of Burna Boy, a lot of Sauti. So, how are you doing? Karibu sana kwenye show. This is Woman Crush Wednesday, right? Today I am your amazing host, as per usual. I go by the name Nina Gikunda, and if you're just joining us, like I said, this is Woman Crush Wednesday, right? Today here we learn, we entertain, we educate, we exchange opinions, we agree to disagree. Just the perfect show for you. Karibu sana. You can always join us on all our social media platforms at KUTV Kenya on Facebook, KUTV_Kenya on Twitter, and at KUTV Kenya on Instagram. How have you been? How is your week so far? We are about to come to the end of September. Time is practically flying. But we're glad to be here, glad to be alive, glad to be healthy. We give God all the glory. Today, as per usual, we have so much lined up just for you. We have Ochiko. Ochiko is a singer, songwriter, and also a guitarist. He released his EP yesterday, the 20th, and he's here to share with us the journey in through his EP, his singles that he had before the EP he released yesterday, how the journey has been for him, the lessons he's learned through his musical journey, his inspirations, and most importantly, to share with us his beautiful music. I cannot wait. We also have peer counselors from Kenyatta University. Today we get to discuss dealing with mental stress and challenges, especially as a university student. How do we go about dealing with all the stress and challenges that come with being a university student? The pressure, you want to be like everyone. You want to match your peers, you want to do what everyone else is doing. Hautaki kuachwa nyuma. Kama ni fashion, you want to be fashionable just like everyone else. People are going out, you also want to go out. People are passing in their studies, you equally want to pass in your studies. But then how do you strike that balance? There's obviously stress and there's obviously challenges, especially to the newly enrolled students in campus. How do they catch up? How do they strike that balance? How do they tell the difference in what to do and what not to engage in? Today we have the KU peer counselors that will be taking us through that entire conversation, and considering it is still September, which means we are still around the suicide prevention month. So how do we prevent suicide in schools? Because some of these activities, some of these things that induce the pressure and the challenges may lead to people wanting to commit suicide, because some people do not know how to handle pressure. Some people do not know some people do not know how to go through stress and pressure, especially, like I said, the newly enrolled students. So we will be having that conversation. And part of the conversation today, what is the difference between being entitled and being empowered? That is the question for today. What is the difference between being empowered and being entitled? There's a conversation that's been going around whereby most individuals think that most women are entitled and they confuse it for being empowered. So is it empowerment or is it entitlement? We will be having Juliet Akai, an author, a motivational speaker. She is also a philanthropist and the founder of Yetu CBO. She will be taking us through this conversation whereby we get to understand the difference between entitlement and empowerment. But as we wait for Juliet Akai to come into studio later on in the show, I'd like you to share with us on all our social media platforms, what is the difference between empowerment and entitlement? And do you think most girls are not empowered but entitled? Or are they entitled and not empowered? Share with us. Once again, our social media platforms are at KUTV Kenya on Facebook, KUTV_Kenya on Twitter, at KUTV Kenya on Instagram. You can talk to me personally across all social media platforms. I go by the name Wangare Gikunda. Share with me your sentiments and opinions, and also send in your questions, in regards to today's conversation. We will be coming back to you with the traffic updates. sana. We get our traffic updates from Mathiru on Twitter. So if you have any useful information in regards to the road where you are, Ngong Road, Waiyaki Way, Kamiti Road, Thika Road, absolutely all roads, bypass, northern, southern, eastern, zote, any road, if you have any useful information, feel free to tag us at KUTV_Kenya, at KUTV_Kenya on Twitter, and also tag Mathiroot, MA3ROUTE. So make sure you tag at Mathiroot on Twitter. Muthaiga, Thika Road, things are looking pretty tight. Traffic is starting from around Muthaiga. Thika Road towards town, Imeanzia, NYS. So if you live in the house, there's a bit of traffic. Mostly Muthaiga. Traffic along Mombasa Road via KMC bypass Athi River. The traffic is moving, but moving slowly. So if you are around Mombasa Road and by any chance you will be passing by KMC bypass, be sure to prepare yourself for some little bit of traffic. Jogoo Road is moving swiftly. So if you, that was roughly 50 minutes to an hour ago. So let us know what the road looks like about right now. Moving forward, keep sending in your updates in regards to the roads right now. Tag us at KUTV_Kenya on Twitter, and also make sure you tag Mathiroot and let us know what the road looks like where you are. Every road, zozote, every useful information, useful to yourself and useful to the public. We will be coming back with the news updates. If you're just joining us, it's never too late to arrive here. You're never late to the party. Here we allow just a little bit of lateness. So today, I said earlier as we were beginning the conversation, we have Ochiko. Ochiko is a singer, songwriter, and a guitarist who's here to share with us his new EP that he released yesterday. He will be taking us through the journey of his music, how he started, the inspirations, the challenges, the lessons, the things he loves about his music. And like I said, most importantly, why would we have him here if we are not going to enjoy his music live? So we will be having that. And we also looked at students have been enrolled into campus very recently, and very notably so, we can see that they're trying to catch up, they're trying to be up to date, fashionably. You want to piga sherehe like the people you found in campus who are in third year and fourth year, you want to do things like everyone else. But how do you strike that balance whereby you're doing everything like your peers, you want to be fashionable, you want to unataka kukua wendo huko, wendo kusema unajulikana, but then you have your studies to balance. You don't know how. Let's be honest. You still don't know how to manage your finances. It's still your first semester, so you're in the process of learning. How do you balance all these things? How do you deal with mental stress and challenges as a campus student, especially a new campus student? How do you go about all these things without feeling the pressure, without feeling the force, whereby most people tend to not have the strength to go through all of it? Some people contemplate suicide. There's your grades that you're trying to work on. There's everything else, and you're still a young individual. So you want to start a biashara because everyone else is starting a biashara. You want to buy new clothes because everyone else is buying new clothes. You want to pass just like everyone else. How do you work on all these things as a new campus student? We will be having two Kenyatta University peer counselors taking us through this conversation, the do's and the don'ts, how to go about everything, and how to differentiate between what is worth it and what is not worth it. what is not worth your time and what you can put in your time, you can try, you can give a shot. And also I asked you a question. The question of the day is, what is the difference between empowerment and entitlements? We have had the girl child be very, very empowered, but then sparked up a conversation whereby people feel like it's entitlement and not empowerment. But how do we tell the difference? How do we know that this individual, this girl child, is actually empowered and not entitled, and this girl child is actually entitled and not empowered? Where do we draw the line? How do we tell the difference? What are the do's and don'ts of an empowered girl, and what are the do's and don'ts of an entitled girl child? How do we prepare the boy child for an empowered girl child, and how do we prepare him to deal with an entitled girl child? That is the conversation we will be having today. Also be looking at the difference between feminism and empowerment. What exactly is feminism? Who is a feminist? That is the conversation we will be having today with Juliet Akai. So be prepared, send in your questions. I will be waiting for them. Our social media platforms are at KUTV Kenya on Facebook, at KUTV_Kenya on Twitter, and at KUTV Kenya on Instagram. Right, before we get into all that, let's get into our news updates for today. Through the Ministry of Agriculture yesterday announced that it will pump Kenya shillings 3.5 on farmers against the current high cost of fertilizer. In a statement on Tuesday, Agriculture Principal Secretary Francis Owino noted that the move is in accordance with a directive from President William Ruto that the government will create interventions meant to make fertilizers affordable to farmers in order to boost agricultural production. Owino added that the program will begin in counties experiencing a short rains season and be availed through the National Cereals and Produce Board depots across the country. Moving on, President Dr. William Ruto is in New York to attend the United Nations General Assembly's annual gathering of world leaders. At the 77th United Nations General Assembly, Dr. Ruto is expected to speak to his fellow African leaders on climate change.
And women's lives are getting... As the world leaders convened for the 77th session general debate in UN General Assembly UNGA in New York City, Kenyan head of state President William Ruto is to address the world leaders on climate change. William Ruto is slated to meet with fellow African president to discuss the current climate crisis in Africa, including the ongoing drought and flooding in Sudan. This is his second maiden trip since his inauguration, which followed the burial of Queen Elizabeth II in Westminster in Britain. As President Ruto makes his debut address at the United Nations, he is expected to hold talks with bilateral ties with other heads of states. According to the schedule of speeches publicized by the UN, he will speak in the afternoon Wednesday, just after the Slovenian representative. The press statement released by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs read, "At the United Nations headquarters, Kenya will seek to promote its foreign policy at the multilateral system, including enhancing participation in the quest for realization of the SDGs and the global leadership in emerging issues, including climate change." As he noted in his inauguration speech last week, Dr. William Ruto promised to place climate change among priority items to deal with in his government.
Among the central concerns of my government will be climate change. In our country, women and men, young people, farmers, workers, and local communities suffer the consequences of climate emergency. It is not too late to respond. To tackle this threat, we must act urgently to keep global heating levels below the 1.5 Celsius.
This year's UNGA theme is a watershed moment, transformative solutions to interlocking challenges, under which the leaders are expected to discuss the impact of the Russian invasion of Ukraine, the global energy crisis, climate change, and the aftermath of the COVID-19 pandemic.
Moving on, induction for members of parliament at the Safari Park Hotel in Nairobi yesterday entered its second day. Among the issues discussed were the National Government Constituency Development Fund, after the legislatures of the third parliament attended various forums acquainting them with the house's operations.
The second day of the induction of members of the National Assembly at Safari Park Hotel in Nairobi began with the legislators being divided in 4 groups that attended forums where they were taught on various issues of the House. The first group focused on the rules and procedures of the National Assembly, as the second one was tackling the formulation of laws. The third group of members of Parliament familiarized themselves with the committee systems, and the fourth addressed issues of the budget and public finance. Afterwards, the lawmakers had a discussion on the matter of the National Government Constituency Development Fund. The members of the National Assembly also held a closed-door meeting with the Inspector General of Police, Hilary Mutyambai, and other security sector officials. The induction will continue tomorrow and is expected to end on Friday, 23rd September, with its aim being familiarizing the members with the procedures of the House. Mutweri Eliud for KU TV.
My sincere apologies on that one. It's the 13th government. The 13th parliament. I'm very sorry for that. Moving forward, yesterday marked the beginning of the Senators' 5-day induction program in Naivasha, which was officially opened by Senate Speaker Honorable Amason Kingi. This exercise saw senators guided through the Senate's mandate and their legislative responsibilities in the counties. The Oversight Fund issue was raised in an effort to increase the visibility of senators in counties.
Nearly 2 weeks after taking their oath of office, the 47 elected and 21 nominated senators have gathered for their 4th induction retreat in Naivasha in an effort to assess the current challenges and expectations when delegating their respective roles. The Senate Oversight Fund issue taking center stage here. Senators argued that the Oversight Fund, similar to the CDF of the MPs, will allow them to better delegate their oversight role over the county governors while also increasing their chances of being re-elected. Procurement. We don't have the capacity because some of us are not trained in those areas of specialty. Why don't we say we are creating a fund that will be allocating this amount of money for the senators so that if they wish, they can recruit a procurement expert. I don't see why we're having a contradiction with us in Kenya here. The governor should be given a certain percentage which is higher. The MPs are getting a percentage which is lower, which is 2%. I don't see why governors, senators cannot get 10%, 20% of funds which they take to the counties. The Speaker of the Senate, Honorable Amason Kingi, officially opened the induction program and urged the senators to delegate their legislative roles in accordance with the Constitution. Nandi County Governor Stephen Sang and Nakuru County Governor Susan Kihika both attended the induction ceremony.
Maybe we have not done proper definitions both to Kenyans and to Parliament on the importance of that oversight function. But the resources must follow the function. So what extent of oversight does Senate need to do over the default funds? So you have to look at what is the county government doing? Is it projects that it's doing? Is the oversight required for each and every project? So for me, I would say, let's go deeper, define that function, see the necessity at the county level, then now define the resource that is needed to support that function.
System that ensure honorable senators are sufficiently facilitated in order for you to discharge your oversight responsibilities successfully as spelled out in the Constitution.
The Attorney General, Chief Justice Motokome, and Cabinet Secretaries for Treasury, Devolution and Foreign Affairs will be expected to join the senators in the course of the week to educate them on their relationship with the Senate. The workshop will last for 5 days before senators return to the regular scheduled House meeting the following week on Monday, when the Speaker will be expected to name the majority and minority leaders of the Senate. Reporting for KUTV, I am Eugene Moyabi.
Moving forward, the 94th National Music Festivals for Students in Early Childhood Development Education, ECDE to secondary school students, continues in Kisumu. Education Cabinet Secretary Professor George Magoha opened the 94th Music Festival competition in Kisumu County on Monday after a 2-year cessation following corona pandemic outbreak in 2020.
It is 2 years now after the National Music Festivals competitions were suspended in schools following the corona pandemic outbreak in the country, leaving many students dealing with the monotony of learning. The CS for Education, Professor George Magoha, on Monday 19 September 2022, opened the 94th Music Festivals competition in Kisumu County.
Kenya Music Festival is unique in many aspects. To begin with, it involves learners of all levels of our education system. There aren't many such activities elsewhere in the world with such a range of participants. Secondly, the range of categories performed at this festival is enormous, with over 600 classes of music, dance, and elocution.
The festival witnessed students showcasing their singing talents in performances organized by different schools from kindergarten to high school, leaving many with happy faces after being entertained.
The festival helped us achieve some of the goals of education, including national unity and appreciation. I noticed the Kikuyu culture dance, and being a Mzee, I knew what they were doing.
Magoha, however, emphasized the importance of embracing CBC, saying CBC is the key to opening job opportunities in the country, as students are given chances to showcase their different talents. President William Ruto is expected to attend these festivals as a guest of honor, which will continue until the 25th of this month. Joseph Voko, KU TV.
Beginning October 1st, Kenya Revenue Authority prepares to apply inflationary adjustments on different excisable products and services, thus suggesting prices for fuel, alcohol, and soft drinks are expected to climb once more. This has saddened various bar and restaurant owners and liquor sellers immensely, who fear that their businesses will plunge into the pits.
Excise duty in Kenya, commonly referred to as sin tax, is an indirect tax on the importation or local manufacture of certain products and supply of accessible services. To protect the government's revenue from being eroded by imported inflation, the taxman is attempting to boost certain rates of excise duty by 6.3%, including alcohol.
Jambo la pili lile tungetaka kuongea ni kuhusu KRA na serikali ya Kenya kwa ujumla, sababu kuna kusudi la kuongeza excise duty kwa 6.3% kuanzia tarehe 1 Oktoba. Na kwa hivyo tunataka kusihi serikali ikiwezekana isiongeze hizo bei.
According to the business community, this move may compel certain investments to close down, which will result to job losses. Traders affiliated with the Bar, Hotels and Liquor Traders Association stated that the increased taxation rate comes when individuals working in the alcohol industries are attempting to recover from the impacts of COVID-19.
Sababu ikiongezewa ni mnywaji wa pombe, mtumizi yule wa sonda na maji na ile kitu inauzwa na hospitality industry ndio itaongezwa. Kwa hivyo tungetaka kusihi serikali idumishe na ikubali yale maombi tuliomba.
They have also claimed that with the increase of excise duty, it will make it difficult for the majority of consumers to afford the legal alcoholic beverages, causing them to turn to illegal brews and dangerous beverages. The bar and restaurant owners have put across that when there are proposals to raise taxes on alcoholic beverages, the Kenya Revenue Authority has consistently disregarded their presentation, hurting their businesses.
this thing of adding taxes on us, it is going to affect us in so many ways, and especially because once the price goes high, mulevi ni ule ule. They'll still have other options of taking alcohol. They'll go for cheaper drinks, they'll go for changa and other drinks.
Bar, hotels and liquor traders are asking President William Ruto to step in and convene a conference with all pertinent stakeholders to discuss the excess duty, rethink the decision and ensure all stakeholders are involved in such matters. For KUTV, I am Susan Wayaki.
Moving forward, the National Children's Amendment Council has asked the county governments to set aside resources to ensure proper implementation of the new children's laws to safeguard children's rights. In a meeting held in Mombasa County on September 20th, stakeholders amended the Children's Act in accordance with the 2010 Constitution.
Children brought to the family and they
The Children's Act of 2001 sought to address the provision of parental responsibility, adoption, and the protection of children's rights. The old act, however, did not address emerging issues and trends of recent times like radicalization, online abuse, and child trafficking, among others.
need a place they can go.
The new amendment has greatly improved upon the old law, with the age of criminal responsibility being raised from 8 years to 12 years. In a big win for children across the country, former President Uhuru Kenyatta signed the new Children's Amendment Act into law in July this year. The National Children's Amendment Council, led by Chief Officer Sheikh Abdi Nur Mohammed, stated that the new laws would replace the old Children's Act of 2001. Speaking at the meeting meant to create awareness about the new act, Mohammed stated that the county governments had a big responsibility in informing the public about the changes to the Children's Act.
And in the same vein, Part 6 of the Act gives the roles, functions of the county governments. I therefore wish to ask also our devolved units and the county governments to join us in sensitization and in the implementation of this.
According to Mohammed, the law places value on the plight of the intersex children who face discrimination due to their socio-economic status. The amendment seeks to address issues such as inheritance and diversion for children in conflict with the law, radicalization, and online abuse. He further added that the biggest challenge was resource mobilization in both urban and rural areas. The changes are expected to focus on the challenges faced by children and the gap in implementation of the Children's Act 2001.
Country is so wide, there is need for vast resources. There is need for, therefore, consolidated coordination and resource mobilization to be done in order to ensure that sensitization is done. Already, as I have earlier said, some of the counties, some institutions, organizations, some entities have already started doing the sensitization.
According to the law, serious cases will be designated by the Chief Justice to the Children's Courts at the county level and to the magistrate at the sub-county level, of which the children will be provided with free legal aid. The new act advances a new concept of kinship adoption where children can be adopted by relatives. The Act of 2001 was amended to work in tandem with the 2010 Constitution. Zipporah Wajogojo, KUTV.
Moving on, Kakuzi PLC, a local agribusiness farm, has for the second time secured pre-shipment approval from the Kenya Plant Health Inspectorate Service to China. Kakuzi will be shipping several 20-foot container loads by sea before the end of this week as a demand for quality Kenyan avocado fresh fruits continues to grow.
Speaking when he confirmed the scheduled shipment, Kakuzi PLC Managing Director Mr. Christopher Flowers said that the containers were prepared and transferred to Mombasa over the weekend for shipment to China. Mr. Flowers added that the shipment to China are providing the much-needed growth leverage for Kenyan produce and Kakuzi Farm, as it seeks to enhance its market and product diversification strategy. Speaking from China, Kakuzi Market Agent Halt's fresh produce representative, Mr. Li Fan Yu, said that the farm is sourcing its supplies from the approved countries of global partners who are carefully selected, and they include Chile, Peru, New Zealand, and Mexico. According to Mr. Yu, the Chinese market needs more supply of quality fruit and more options to enable the consumers purchase avocados throughout the year at affordable prices. He added that consistent availability of quality fruit with the correct dry matter content is essential to ensure encouragement of repeat purchases because of a great taste experience. The export of fresh avocados to China follows early January signing of 2 protocols to facilitate bilateral trade, mainly the export of avocados and aquatic products from Kenya to China. Kenya is currently the only approved African source market for fresh avocado fruits in China. Susan Karenga, KUTV.
In other news, Uganda health authorities yesterday declared Ebola outbreak after confirming a 24-year-old man who showed symptoms and later died. The first confirmed case has been registered in Mubende district, with 6 other suspected cases under investigation to establish cause of their deaths. The Ministry of Health has dispatched teams to Mubende district to enhance surveillance and community awareness, while urging the public to remain vigilant and calm as necessary action is undertaken. The virus is transmitted through body fluids, with the main symptoms being fever, vomiting, bleeding, and diarrhea. It was first identified in 1976 in the Democratic Republic of Congo and has since set off a series of epidemics in Africa, killing around 15,000 people. We have come to the end of our news updates for today, but for subsequent bulletins, keep it KUTV in through the day. We keep you updated, educated, and entertained. I have Ochiko with me in studio, so stay tuned as we come back with him after this short break.
Welcome to Children's Corner. Welcome to Children's Corner. Children's Corner.
We bring you women who have done a tremendous job in the tech space.
Everybody was going for business, and the teachers would tell you, you know what, as a woman, try business or try agriculture. If you're a woman, follow your passion. Let passion be the drive for whatever it is that you're going to do. And remember, out here, people are here to support you.
Bila shaka, mbiu ya mgambo ikilia, kuna jambo. Na sasa, katika QTV Rise Today, makala ya TBT. Tunaongeza kuni, tunawasha moto. Tunaingia barabarani kuangalia hali ilivyo. Takwimu za korona na kupa. Habari zinazojiri na zinazokuhusu na kujuza na kukumbusha yaliyotendeka siku kama hii ndani ya historia. Kisha na kuletea wageni na wataalamu. Tudadavui, tufahamu na tuchukue nafasi yetu kama vijana katika uongozi, uchumi na masuala ya kisiasa nchini. Na joto likizidi, tunaingia uwanjani, tunachambua spoti ya Kenya. Ni kila Alhamisi saa 1 hadi saa 4 asubuhi, nami Vincent Maina almaarufu Ojwang mtoto wa Mariam, ndani ya QTV, a new experience.
WHO, an infant should be exclusively breastfed for up to 6 months of age. This ensures that the infant gets adequate nutrients and also protects them from various illnesses. And that's going to be our topic today on Focus on Health.
Breastfeeding is key, even to intelligence. We want to produce children who are also capable to perform well in school.
I'm still happy from the pain that you left me with. If you ever call, I will still receive. I know I'm a fool for running back to you. Deep down I'm such a mess. Yes, deep down I miss my toxic ex. Deep down natamani anipige, anivutie kwa kweli nitaweza songa mbele. Will I ever learn to live without your kisses, your smile, your laughter, your eyes? Kwa kweli nitaweza songa mbele. Will I ever learn to live without your kisses? Kisses, nitapona mayondo yale, nitapona. I love again and I move on. I will move on. Nitapona, nitapona. Kuna days ni utamani kutext, utamani kupiga, wacha niko na vile. Ile ngoma ulipenda kusikiza, inaniumiza mawazo. zanipiga vile ulinipikia chai ukanikanda wala hata daru na sasa tukitane hivo tuachane hivo kwa kweli nitaweza songa mbele wilaya balati without your kisses your smile your laughter your eyes kwa kweli nitaweza songa mbele wilaya balati live without your kisses nitapona my world will heal nitapona I love again and I move on I will move on nitapona
I am genuinely dumbfounded. Wow. You have such a beautiful voice. I don't even know what to say. Imagine having such a beautiful voice. Oh my God. Wow. 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 Anyway, so Ochiko guys, karibuni sana kwenye show. Thank you so much for joining us. In studio, like I said earlier, I have Ochiko. Thank you so much for joining us. Aki, you have a beautiful voice.
Thank you.
Must be nice. It must
Look
be really
who's
nice.
talking. Look who's talking.
Wow. Let me just say, wow. What a wow.
What a
wow. Karibu sana.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for gracing my show.
Thank you for having me.
You released an EP yesterday.
Yes, I did.
Right before we get into that, tell us who is Ochiko. Who is Ochiko behind closed doors?
Behind closed doors.
Away from your guitar, away from the camera. Who is Ochiko?
Ochiko is an empath. Ochiko is a graphics designer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Ochiko is a very quiet guy.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Take the arts away, I'm an introvert.
For real?
Yeah.
It's you and your machine.
Yeah.
Just that.
Just that.
Now, who is Ochiko with the guitar?
Extroverted singer-songwriter, multi-instrumentalist, record producer. Yeah, mad composer. Yeah.
Clearly, but we all agree. All agree. Wadhera. What does Wadhera mean?
Journey of love.
The journey of love.
Safari ya mapenzi. Yeah.
So take us through this journey. Wadhera ilianzia wapi?
Ilianzia character development.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm curious. Would you, aside from you telling us the story through the EP, would you be willing to share with us the story in its rawest form?
Rawest form, no, but we could break it down.
Yeah, exactly. You can summarize.
Yeah. I wasn't staying in Nairobi for a very long time, so I moved back like 7 months ago. Nikarudi Nairobi kanifanyia ile kitu. Came here, met someone, Nini thought that someone was the one. Ended up realizing that I was alone in this. Nilikuwa najidate. I was dating myself. And it just unearthed a lot of emotions that I thought I had swept under or worked through. Things which were not even necessarily love or relationships, just a lot of issues.
Yeah.
Hiyo kitu ilinifanyia, iliinua the carpet. All the issues just came.
Everything just, the Pandora's box just opened.
Opened. And it just made me become very vulnerable with very many things. So, and when I am anxious or not at a good place mentally, I write a lot.
Well, can I say that's a good thing?
It is.
Because can we thank her for this good music? Allow me to thank Nairobi and her for this good music.
You did the thing.
We give the credit.
We give the credit. Yeah. So actually, Nitapona came from that whole situation. But every other song off the EP is personal stories, things I have gone through, things I am going through. So, ilifanya niko vulnerable.
So basically, your healing process comes through music.
Yeah, it's therapy.
Music is your therapy.
It is.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. Let me just say, wow. Which one of all of the music is your most favorite project?
Favorite project? This one.
Why? This one. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, I think that's why, because also the fact that I was, for a very long time, I've been scared of opening that side and showing people that
you can be vulnerable.
You can be vulnerable. This is how you feel. This is how, because, like after Jana, the songs were out. Guys have connected in a way that...
Yeah, yes. One of the reasons why I've just gone like, hey, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe take us through what is your Nitapona is your favorite song?
No, not necessarily.
Which is your favorite song?
I can't choose.
Please choose. I'm sure there's one that has your heart.
Obviously, but I'm not gonna say it out loud. Where your mom can't tell you. Can't choose.
No, the favorite child ndo anakuanga na password ya M-Pesa. So you know who the favorite child is.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say it out loud.
Okay. You have a point.
Yeah, I'd traumatize the rest.
Then pick for us one, a favorite. No, okay, not a favorite, then any. One that
choose
you
a
love.
song.
Me chose a song.
Sawa.
I already chose.
Let me play the song you chose.
Okay.
Tukizeeka nikukumbushe nina. I wanna dance with you when we're old. I wanna sing to you in the storms. Nataka nikupende, pende nina. We only live once. Vunja mifupa while we still can, and turn up the music. Nita go down on one knee. Nita nunua mua. Nyimbo pia nitatunga. Lazima leo nikupate. Lazima leo nikupate. Maboys hapa mtanisamehe, nimefambwa mbaya, yani siamini. Nimezama ndani na mwili akinitamini na niringe. Sukari tamu natamani nimfiche. I can't get enough, could never get enough of you. Yani msupa, tena nukiwa, tena kibala moyo na yeno feature. Yeno chaguo la moyo superwoman, my woman. Yani nina, tena nukiwa, tena kibala moyo na tena feature. Wendo chaguo la moyo superwoman, my woman. Nita go down on one knee. Nita nunua maua. Nyimbo pia nitatunga. Lazima leo nikupate. Lazima leo nikupate. Yeah.
Petition to change your name from Ochiko to Mr. Still Your Girl. What is your biggest inspiration?
Biggest inspiration? That is a very good question. In terms of what?
In terms of what every morning you wake up and...
Poverty.
Oh.
Poverty.
That is the biggest inspiration.
That is the biggest inspiration.
I think that's everyone's inspiration.
But just wanting to surpass certain expectations, wanting to surpass places. My dad was an artist, a creative.
Really?
Did his rounds mad. Played with Franco, the Kasangas.
Oh, wow.
Kabaseke family. He really did his thing. So, but the places he didn't get to.
So we can say music runs in your family?
The whole family sings.
Oh, wow.
Like proper singers. Yeah, the whole family sings. And yeah, it's just wanting to get to a place where I can really, like just show that it's possible, break those walls that he couldn't go through, But ya kwanza ni poverty. We can't go back there.
No, I agree. What's that one achievement in through your musical journey that you sit and think about and you say to yourself, Ochiko, I am proud of you?
The songwriting.
That one thing.
The songwriting. The songwriting, so very many people keep on telling me, oh yeah, you're such a good composer, you write really well.
I agree.
Trust me, it wasn't this good always, and I think it gets better over time. And
experience.
Yeah, over time you really learn how to package a song well, how to really know how to tell what someone else is feeling, even when you're feeling it yourself, you know. So the fact that right now I can write for someone else.
Oh, really?
And they really connect to it from a point of view, they feel like they would have written it if it was them.
What are some of the potential collaborations you have had or you would want to have, or you initially want, in your line, you want to have?
Collaborations I want to have and have not. I would love to write with Savara.
You know what? I was about to just ask you. Listening to you, it gives me your music makes me feel like I'm listening to Sauti Sol. I feel like I'm listening to Bensol. I feel like I'm listening to Mviri. So you saying Savara makes me feel, oh, actually I am. Yeah. Music is so on that kind of level.
Thank you. I think Savara is a top tier creative. I would love to work with him. Yeah, him, Lisa Oduor, Karun. Yeah, Karun. Hey, those are a few of.
Allow me to ask, who's your role model?
Role model as what?
As an artist. Oh, you have a role model as a guitarist, as a songwriter, and as a singer. You have for each. Please do.
As a guitarist, Kato Change. As a songwriter in Kenya, there's a guy called Isaac Kimani. As an artist, I think Sauti Sol. The music business perspective.
Yeah. Wow. Your music is so good, I feel like telling you to sing for us another song. Please sing for us another song.
One other song.
Please, of your choice.
Of my choice. I hope I get to make you feel alive. Hope I get to give you so much life. Melodies I write come from beauty so divine. Now that you're here, let me be clear. You are killing me softly, breaking me down. What you're doing is working. Work it all out. You are killing me softly, breaking me down. What you're doing is working. Baby, work it all out. Life is easier when you're right here. Easier, Life is easier when you're right here. Easier, to sleep last night. I had so many things to write. You give me so much love, I fantasize. Simple things make me happy, make me sing. In a very short while, you've brought me back to life. For the longest while, you'll be the song I write. For the longest while, you'll be the song I write. Life is easier when you're right here. Easier, Life is easier when you're right here. Easier. Life is easier when you're right here. Easier. Easier.
Wow.
Yeah.
Imagine this is a lifestyle. Imagine singing like this for the rest of your life. You know how God knows how to balance? Because if I could sing, God knows.
Let me tell you, I keep on saying, if I could have see the fluency of how you talk.
Mm-hmm.
My God, your radio stations will never rest.
If I could sing, the people in my life would never rest. No. Waking up in the morning, good morning. I am saying everywhere. Because God knows why He did not give me a beautiful voice to sing. Moving forward, what do you have planned out for the future? I know you released your EP yesterday. I know. But then I'm sure moving forward you have things planned out.
First of all, gigs from October. A lot of gigs coming. A lot more music coming before the end of the year. This is not the last piece of work I'm releasing before the end of the year. Yeah, so there's more music before the end of the year. There's an album coming this next year. There's a lot of collaborations. A lot. From me as an artist and me as a songwriter. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So as you released your EP yesterday, take us through the day. How was it for you? Jana ilikuwaje for you? It was a big day, so how was it for you?
Yeah. Let's say I woke up at around 5 a.m. And just to check the DSPs, songs available on streaming platforms.
I'm sure there's people wondering what is a DSP.
Yeah, like the distributors, we call them DSPs, the stores.
Yeah,
the stores where these songs are, like Apple Music, Spotify, Boomplay.
Yeah.
You see, so I woke up to check.
It's on Boomplay.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
Yeah.
You have a new subscriber.
Pop. So to check whether they were out, and I woke up, it's at 5. Na napata kuna watu hawakulala wako washaanza mentions on Instagram, and I'm like, oh my God. And the reports that morning, freshened up, nearly prepared for. Got to the office. This live, guys were so excited about it. I know guys were this excited about it.
I am this excited, so I can imagine how excited other people were. Yeah.
So did that, had my guys around, the producer, Modest, the executive producers, everyone was there. So guys, we just started sharing, putting the work out there, started receiving calls. Hi Nyaji, listened, this is what the song did to me. It was mad, inspirational, very humbling. But again, we are workaholics. So
the work keeps going.
We had writing sessions going on Jana. Yeah, we had plannings for sessions for songs which are coming before the end of the year. But overall, Jana was really, really
beautiful. A beautiful day.
Beautiful day.
Yeah.
That is exactly what I said. Jana was a beautiful day. Yeah.
So moving forward, what plans do you have rolled out to market your EP?
We're still doing the media tour. There are promos which are gonna be happening, which started from Jana actually, digitally. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, gonna roll out across the month and the rest of the year. And yeah, the gigs. We're gonna do gigs for the EP. Yeah.
I would really genuinely, people who watch my show know, I am a diehard of Kenyan content. I don't even call it local content. It's Kenyan content. I am a diehard for Kenyan content, and I would really love to walk into a concert and find you there. You know, like how we are always talking about these big artist concerts, Akina Naivasha, Akina Sauti Sol, and then they normally have nice lineups. So I would really love, to find you there. Would really melt my heart.
Those who have experienced Ochiko live, never miss shows.
I would personally never miss one.
You definitely. And
please, but
show. Yeah.
to a concert and finding you perform would
Yeah.
I'm curious, do you perform at special occasions for individuals?
Yes, I do.
Because imagine if this man performs in your wedding. Can you imagine?
Easier when you're right here. Unapata hapi nguvu ya kuachana katikati ya ndoa.
Ukimbe hivyo wataachwa waende na wewe. I said, Mr. Still you can. What's the biggest challenge you faced?
Jana, as I was thinking about it, I realized it was the name.
For the EP?
Yeah.
What inspired the name?
What inspired the name? I think I had a different name for the EP.
You changed it last minute?
No, not last minute. Last minute. But before or just when we started recording, my producer Modest, he just sat down and was like, bro, the songs are nice. I love the background story. But does the name really take me there? You know?
Yeah.
Because the name really needs to speak to you firsthand before you listen.
Yes.
So he was like, we need to get a name. So the guys, the team which executive produced this project, they're called Kamunge Original. They're also like, okay, we love the name you're choosing, but we could do better. You know. So we just had to like sit down, really think about it. And then because the essence and the intention was to take people through the journey of love. We just didn't know how to put it, to phrase it, you know. So yeah, that's when we thought of Wadhera.
The journey of love.
Journey of love, yeah.
Wow. Now as we wind up, unfortunately, I want to cry. As we wind up, maybe share with us your social media platforms, everywhere we can get your music, and maybe speak to your people.
Starting with speaking to my people. Hello world, Ochiko coming to you live from KUTV, Nairobi, Kenya. Thank you so much for consuming this music. It means so much. It is overwhelming. We appreciate you, the whole team, Modest, Ochiko, Kamunge Original. We really appreciate you. Nina appreciates you. KUTV appreciates you. And we speak life to you. Mzidishiwe sana, msiwahi kosa, mfuko zenyu zijae. Because we wouldn't be anywhere without you guys. We love you and we say thank you for the support. And for even what is coming, we say thank you. Keep following the journey. My social media platforms, Ochiko, Ochiko, across. From YouTube to Instagram to Facebook to streaming platforms to TikTok to everywhere. Ochiko. That's what's up.
Wow.
Yeah.
Maybe you cannot finish without performances. Two of your choice. Two performances.
Two of my choice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right before Ochiko, I don't want to close, dilute everything. So that has been Ochiko. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
We'll be having Akai for the Empowerment and Entitlement conversation later. Before, what is the difference between empowerment and entitlement?
Shit. Empowerment and entitlement.
Yes.
I think entitlement comes with an ego, comes with a comfortability, But empowerment comes with the knowledge of knowing that you have this power, this is what you could do with it, but this is what you're choosing to do with it. The positive side that you're choosing to impact people with. I don't know.
I'm sure Akai is watching this. She'll tell us whether he's right. I will not give an answer at the moment. But thank you so much for joining us, Ochiko. I am humbled. You have a very beautiful voice. Very beautiful voice. You have one more fan. And I will bring my fans to you as well. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Take it away.
2 songs.
Of your choice.
Of my choice.
Yes.
Kwangu hesabu nafsi yangu imezama kwa utamu kweli umenifanyia mateso, penzi lako kama upepo, umenibeba ukaniweza, kweli mateso, umeniweza, umenitesa, kweli mateso, kweli uwezo, I got to be a million reasons. You give me a million. No maana ninasema penzi umeniweza, weza. Ninasema penzi umenibeba. Ninasema penzi umeniweza. I got a million reasons. You give me a million reasons, yeah. Mapenzi kibao nitakupa kwa macho yangu we ni superstar. Akiwa laini ukumbuka zile vitu we ulinifanyia. Kipenzi uliniacha na njaa ya kukuona mara kadhaa. One more time, girl, I wanna see you smile. You give me a million reasons, and I got a million reasons, yeah. On to the last song of the day, Like You. Been afraid of falling. So many times I found my calling. Nimewaza sana, nimeogopa kukufuata. Mnyonge wa mapenzi mie, nawaza zama zile. Natamani siturudie, natamani jua na mvua, natamani sisi kuruka. I wanna feel your tender loving, call me baby when we're fighting. That's what I really want, something that will really last for real, for real. Once so many times I've loved, I found no one like you. There's no one like you. Once so many times I've loved, I found no one like you. There's no one like you till I found you. Me happy, you make me smile. Akiwala, you make me mushy. So many times I die inside. How can I run from such a feeling? I'd be crazy leaving. You're such a blessing, you give me so much life. A gift that keeps on giving, yani I can't deny. How can I run from such a feeling? I'd be crazy leaving. Natamani jua na mvua, natamani sisi kuruka. I wanna feel your tender loving, call me baby when we're fighting. That's what I really want, something that will really last for real, for real. Once so many times I've loved, I found no one like you. I felt no one like you. Once so many times I've loved, I found no one like you. I felt no one like you till I found you. Till I found you. Till I found till I found you.
It is a sunny Sunday afternoon when we make our way to Sunken Park along Aga Khan Walk at the heart of the Nairobi Central Business District. It is here we meet hundreds of skating enthusiasts, new entrants, parents and guardians who have gathered for an eventful afternoon. From Monday to Saturday, the Sunken Park serves as a parking lot. It is only open to skaters for just one day in a week. They fall and rise until they get it right. Samson Soni is a skating coach. He has been training the children at the park.
Driving and riding without incidences on the road is such an amazing experience. But do you know while many road traffic crashes are avoidable, human behavior continues to be the leading cause. Speeding, lane indiscipline, drunk driving, distracted driving, failure to wear a helmet, and failure to use available pedestrian ways have been flagged by NTSA as the fatal 6 behaviors likely to lead to a fatal crash and serious injuries. As part of the Usalama Barabarani campaign, we request all road users to prevent these fatal 6 behaviors for their own safety and that of others. When driving, ensure your speed is within the stipulated limits. The road ahead is clear before overtaking. Stick to your lane. Keep left unless carefully overtaking. You're well rested if driving on long distances, and you never drink and drive. Usalama Barabarani starts with you. Fika Salama. This message is brought to you by the National Transport and Safety Authority and the European Union.
KUTV, in conjunction with Kenyatta University Funeral Home, is now offering death announcements immediately following on news bulletins at 7 p.m. At this sorrowful time, as you share in your grief, allow us to communicate your announcement of your loved one on KUTV in both Kiswahili and English. For more details, kindly inquire at the KU Funeral Home Service Desk or call 0736 928 380 or dial 020-359-9054.
Welcome to Children's Corner. Welcome to Children's Corner. Children's Corner.
Bila shaka, mbiu ya mgambo ikilia, kuna jambo. Na sasa, katika KUTV Rise Today, makala ya TBT. Tunaongeza kuni, tunawasha moto. Tunaingia barabarani kuangalia hali ilivyo. Takwimu za corona na kupa. Habari zinazojiri na zinazokuhusu na kujuza na kukumbusha yaliyotendeka siku kama hii ndani ya historia. Kisha na kuletea wageni na wataalamu. Tudadavui, tufahamu na tuchukue nafasi yetu kama vijana katika uongozi, uchumi na masuala ya kisiasa nchini. Na joto likizidi, tunaingia uwanjani. Tunachambua spoti ya Kenya. Ni kila Alhamisi saa 1 hadi saa 4 asubuhi, nami Vincent Maina almaarufu Ojwang mtoto wa Mariam, ndani ya KUTV, a new experience.
Sasa ni bora zaidi, mwanzo mpya, mambo mapya. Msimu mwingine wa Boresha Kilimo unakuletea teknolojia ibuka, kilimo mseto, uongezaji thamani. Teknolojia dijitali ya mauzo inawezesha ufikiaji wa masoko. Soko moko yako, mahangaiko yako ya kufikia masoko yamefika kikomo, manake tunao Mkulima Yangu.
What Mkulima Yangu does is it connects farmers with the market.
Hii ni Boresha Kilimo kwa ushirikiano na Mkulima Yangu. Atafutaye hachoki na kichoka kesha pata. Kwa makala maalum ya kilimo, ungana nasi kila Jumamosi saa 6:30 kwenye kipindi ukipendacho Boresha Kilimo.
The percentage in which government is giving opportunities to this specific type of groups under the AGPO, like what percentage has the government given?
No, but like I said, you see, when a budget is done for every year, every ministry will be able to place their budget for it. But whatever is given to them, 30% of the budget for that ministry is dedicated to AGPO. 30%. So if let's assume, for instance, that a ministry is given 2 billion, for instance. Now, 30% of 2 billion would be about 600,000? 600 million. That will be dedicated to AGPO. And therefore, when you go to a ministry, as a young person, as a person living with disability, 600 million is actually meant for you.
This is The Agenda with Benturo Komboka and Colonel Retired Cyrus Oguna.
We bring you women who have done a tremendous job in the tech space.
Everybody was going for business, and the teachers would tell you, you know what, as a woman, try business or try agriculture. If you're a woman, follow your passion. Let passion be the drive for whatever it is that you're going to do. And remember, out here, people are here to support you.
Driving and riding without incidences on the road is such an amazing experience. But do you know while many road traffic crashes are avoidable, human behavior continues to be the leading cause. Speeding, lane indiscipline, drunk driving, distracted driving, failure to wear a helmet, and failure to use available pedestrian ways have been flagged by NTSA as the fatal 6 behaviors likely to lead to a fatal crash and serious injuries. As part of the Usalama Barabarani campaign, we request all road users to prevent these fatal 6 behaviors for their own safety and that of others. When driving, ensure your speed is within the stipulated limits, the road ahead is clear before overtaking. Stick to your lane, keep left unless carefully overtaking. You're well rested if driving on long distances, and you never drink and drive. Usalama Barabarani starts with you. Fika Salama. This message is brought to you by the National Transport and Safety Authority and the European Union.
Maelfu na maelfu ya wahamiaji wakiwa na watoto kutoka nchi za Amerika ya Kati wanaendelea kuwasili kwenye mpaka kati ya Marekani na Mexico.
But folks, I'm going. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Ni habari kutoka pembe zote duniani.
Pipopa si vuguvugu. Pipopa ni idea.
Tazidi ananyonya, hanyonyi vizuri, anakuwa hayuko comfortable.
Jeshi la Jamhuri ya Kidemokrasia ya Kongo linapambana na waasi wa ADF.
Kwa sasa wanatoa wito kwa mashirika, makampuni na vile vituo
vya uchukuzi.
Mambo mengi yatakwenda kama yalivyopangwa.
Hapa ni kuna mmoja wa viongozi wa chama cha wavuvi katika eneo hili.
Zaidi tunajaribu kuwapa chanjo ili ina boost ama inanyanyua kinga ya mwili, ndio inaenda kupelekea kupambana na virusi.
Ni Duniani Leo, Jumatatu mpaka Ijumaa, moja kwa moja kutoka VOA Swahili, Washington DC.
What is this magic? I need that magic.
Somebody call 911.
Access to knowledge. Solution to unanswered questions.
Guidelines to pursuing your rights and repossessing your property, intellectual or material.
This and more only on Law Matters.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for tuning in up until this far. I truly appreciate that you've been with us up until now. I have Juliet Akai with me in studio to talk about the difference between empowerment and entitlement. We had Ochiko earlier on. If you're just tuning in, he's taken us through a very beautiful session. We've had some music. We've, released some tension to Meimba, very talented man right there. Right now, I have Juliet Akai. She will take us through the difference between empowerment and entitlement. Where do we draw the line? We have empowered women and entitled women. We've had this notion of we need to empower our women more, but then most of us are getting entitled and not empowered. But how do we tell the difference? How do we know that this particular lady is entitled and this particular lady is empowered? And how do we prepare our men to deal with these two different types of people? So with me is Miss Juliet. Karibu sana.
Asante.
Thank you so much for being with us this morning.
Thank you so much for having me.
Karibu sana once again.
Thank you.
Who is Juliet?
Juliet Akai is an author, a motivational speaker, a certified mentor, and a finalist at Kenyatta University. I just finished my 4-year studies. I'm awaiting graduation come December.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Graduating is not a joke.
And I'm also a founder of Yetu CBO in Busia County.
Yeah. What is Yetu CBO?
Yetu CBO means Youth Empowerment Through Unity CBO, community-based organization. Yes.
What does it do?
It empowers women, youth, and what else? It offers free sanitary towels to the marginalized girls. It distributes food to the marginalized people during Christmas or any celebration. Yeah.
Juliet, what is the difference between empowerment and entitlement?
Okay, empowerment is a process of giving someone power or authority, but entitlement is the belief of having a right to something. Yeah.
Do you think our women are more empowered or they are more entitled?
I feel like nowadays women are more entitled than empowered. Yeah.
Okay. And who is a feminist? Okay. And who is a feminist and what is feminism?
A feminist, this is a person who fights for the rights of women, let's say so. And feminism, this is a movement that is aimed at fighting for the rights of women. Yeah.
So I'm curious, what we have today, do we have feminists or we have entitled women?
Okay, we have feminists who are more entitled. They're not doing what feminism is supposed to do. Yeah.
Because I think when you get into social media and find the women who call themselves feminists, please don't come at me. I'm just curious. The women we find who define themselves or rather describe themselves as feminists, they don't fight for women's rights.
Yeah.
I don't see them fighting for women's rights. I just see them fighting for what they think women deserve.
Yes.
So what is the problem exactly? Where did we go wrong?
Okay, I think people are giving themselves titles without knowing what that title what title entails. Yes.
Do you think that the society is ready to embrace an empowered woman?
The society is not ready to embrace an empowered woman because we are having so much difference between empowerment and entitlement. So when the society looks at a woman who claims to be empowered behaving too much entitled, I feel the society is not ready because how can you even sit with an entitled woman in the name of empowerment? The society is not ready.
But then at what point does a woman discover, no, I'm not empowered, I'm actually entitled? How do I know that I am entitled and not empowered? And how do I know that I am empowered and not entitled?
Okay, if you want to know you are empowered, let's say, let me use political example. If you're going to vie against a man, let's say MP, you want to be an MP, and you're going there not with the mind that you're a woman, you're going there knowing I am the best version of myself and I want to get this seat. I'm going to do what it will take to have this seat. But that is an empowered woman. You are an empowered woman. But when you're there and you're saying, give me this seat because I'm a woman, I deserve it because I'm a woman, you're very much entitled.
I am entitled of my gender. I think I deserve it because I am a woman.
You feel like it is your right to get that seat. Or even you are waiting for the nomination because I'm a woman.
I must
get it.
So for the entitled woman, it is the must.
It is a must.
I must get it.
I must
because I am.
Yeah.
There is a must and a because.
A because.
But then for an empowered woman is I should because I can.
Yes.
Oh, okay. But how do we curb entitlement and turn it into empowerment?
Okay.
So how do we change that entitled woman into an empowered woman? How do we make them see the difference and maybe change?
I feel like these empowerment programs are the ones that are supposed to train these girls and boys to know the difference between being empowered and being entitled. Because some empowerment programs are teaching them to be more entitled. They are telling them you have to get this because you are a woman, you are inferior, you are so and so, you get. But if we come up with programs that will make them know you can be the best version of yourself regardless of your gender. That way we are going to empower people instead of making them more entitled. Yeah.
Allow me to veer off a bit. We have this empowered woman and we have this entitled woman. How a woman nowadays, you hear women being told, it's not your responsibility to cook. Even the man can come and cook. It's not your responsibility to do certain things. Even the man can do certain things. Since at the end of the day, we are looking for gender balance. We are looking for gender equality, right? So is that empowerment or entitlement?
Okay, first thing you have to know that we have gender roles that were ascribed to you as a woman and as a man.
Yes. Where do we draw the line?
You have to draw the line because as a woman you have to cook, you have to wash dishes, you have to take care of the home. And as a man, you have to go and look for something to bring on table.
You have to protect and provide.
Yes, you are the breadwinner of this family. So that is the gender role that was ascribed to you.
Now, that was then.
Yes.
But then now, because now we are trying to look for gender, we've been fighting for gender equality. So in the morning, we are all leaving the house because you are looking for money and I'm also looking for money. So we are both breadwinners, in quotes.
Yeah. We have to be realistic here. We cannot achieve gender equality. We can only achieve gender equity. Yes.
Please explain.
Gender equality is where you want to be same like a man, of which you can't be same. God created us in different ways.
Yes, that's
but
right.
Gender equity is where now we bring fairness. Yeah. with fairness, maybe you can tell your husband, let's say you are late for a meeting or something, please, will you help me do this and this? He will be fair to you. You see, where gender equity now comes. He will wash the dishes.
I will come cook.
I will come cook.
Yeah.
That is being fair. But you cannot tell a man, because I cooked lunchtime, you have to cook supper. Who told you that a man will be the same as a woman? You know your roles as a woman. He knows his roles as a man. Why force him to be a woman? And why should he force you to be a man? It cannot happen. Gender equality will never happen.
But gender equity is possible.
Can. Yes. Yeah.
Do you think that the current boy child has been prepared for the empowered girl child?
No.
Why?
I, being one of them, we are empowering women too much, neglecting the boy child.
Yeah.
And my question is, yes, we are empowering a girl child. That is good.
But
where will this girl go to get married? So it is to this man who is not empowered. Now you can imagine the kind of life they are going to live. An empowered woman with an empowered man.
What do you think is the solution? What do we do as a society? What do we do? What are we doing wrong, and what can we do different?
Okay, we are neglecting boy child too much, and they have their needs that has to be looked at. Yes. So I feel we should incorporate men in this empowerment program. Even for ladies, they should come there. We should train them that these are the needs of a woman or a girl, and tell the women too, these are the needs of
a man.
Yeah. And we should try to be fair to both of them and educate each of them and give each of them priorities and opportunities. Yeah, instead of focusing too much on a girl and forgetting this boy. That is why you are seeing men nowadays are killing these girls. Because the girl now feels like it is a must you do this and this.
Those are entitled girls.
Yes.
Those are not empowered girls.
Yes. And also, look at these empowered women. Let's say she has fought for this MP seat. She has won it. Now she feels like, I'm so much powerful. You know, this one is empowered, yes, but she's feeling that much power to her husband.
But don't you think even the man is entitled? Because if that man feels, if you won't do things my way, if you won't do things the way I want them done, see, I'd rather just kill you.
Because we are not empowering them. We have to empower them.
So when they are not empowered, they in turn become entitled to fill in the gap of empowerment.
They will even fear an empowered woman. When you are, let's say, when you are learned and you are going to get married to a man who has, let's say, less education
than what you have. Does that matter?
I just want to explain. Sorry, this man, you will go there and you will down look on him. So he will be like, this lady akona kichwa ngumu, in quotes, you see? For you will feel like, I'm empowered, I'm having this
I'm educated,
I'm what? You're not doing anything wrong. You're just feeling that power. But this man is not even empowered to sit with you and know a woman can have a great job than I. You know, for them, they know a man is the head of the house, you see? This man is not empowered to know a lady can have a great job than me, but can still live in peace. This man will even stop you from going to work.
That's true.
It happens. But if we empower this man, he will know, she can even go for meetings away, and I remain back with the kids.
The families who actually do that.
Yes, because the man is empowered to know, my wife can work. Even if she has a great job than I do or a better salary, we can still
work together
as husband and wife. Yes. But if this man is not empowered, you'll never even have a property on your name.
No, that's true.
Yes.
That's true, because there's some stories we've seen. There's a story I saw quite a while back on one of the social media platforms of this lady who was doing so well. She was doing really, really well, very well educated, running bigger businesses, but then the man was not as empowered as the woman. So, you know, love is love. Love is love, and we like to say love can make you stupid. I'm sorry to say this. Love can make you stupid. So she was in love. The man had his ways to manipulate her and make her very, very much in love, in such a way that eventually he managed to under-empower her and then turned all the property she had into his name and then kicked her out.
You can imagine.
he made her miserable, plucked her hair, you know, made sure that he killed her self-esteem. But that's entitlement.
Yeah.
That's entitlement,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
To an over-empowered woman.
Yeah.
But then how do we empower these boys? How do we empower these men?
Okay, first we have to empower them when they're still young. Let's say teenage boys.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that they grow with this mentality, knowing I'm not entitled to this lady. Like, even if she's your girlfriend, you're not entitled to her.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is not a must you have her. The boy will grow knowing, okay, we can work it out, and if it doesn't go my way, I can let it go in peace. Yes, we can call a spade a spade. Yeah. But if we keep on leaving them to just be who they are, they're going to be entitled. Yeah, that is where we come back to entitlement. Yeah, they won't know the difference between being empowered and being entitled. For them, they will think they're empowered by being entitled. Yeah, they will know the difference. Yeah.
What are the aspects of empowerment that are supposed to be taught to our girls? What exactly are we supposed to teach our girls in regards to empowerment, so that we are able to know that I'm actually empowering this girl instead of making her feel entitled? What are these lessons we are supposed to teach them to know the difference?
First, we have to tell them reality. Let's not sugarcoat things.
Yeah.
We have to tell them reality of life, reality of marriage, reality of relationship, and everything.
Yes.
When we are empowering them, let's tell them what they should expect in marriage, and how they should behave as a wife, and how they should be as girls in the society, and how they are going to overcome these challenges they have, and how they are going to maneuver through opportunities that are available for them without feeling like it is a must for them to get. We just need to be realistic to them. Yeah.
Now we have the what to teach them.
Yes.
But who is supposed to teach them?
An empowered woman, not a feminist who's just calling herself feminist without knowing even what feminism entails.
Yeah. Now we have now the things to teach an empowered woman.
Yeah.
How do we prepare? How do we empower a boy child? How do we prepare and empower a boy child for an empowered girl child?
Okay, first for these boys, we have, when they're in a relationship, same to girl, we have to tell them the do's and don'ts. Yeah, and we have to tell them that when something is not going right as you feel like, please let it go without causing any harm or something. Yeah.
She must.
Yeah. And we have to tell them also how they are going to get these opportunities. You know, at times I feel like girls are being given too much than boys.
Really?
Even, at some point, not always. Let's say we go to employment opportunity. We are going to an interview, a boy and a girl.
Yeah.
We are going to face a man as an interviewee. This man, maybe you are beautiful. Let me use that example. This man might have some intentions towards you as a girl. And he will even employ you without being, let's say, without being competent enough, because
he has an end goal.
Yes.
Yeah.
He will leave this boy who is very competent. You see what happens now? Yes. This interviewee is not empowered. That is what you have to know first. The man is not empowered to even know who to hire and who not to hire.
He's entitled.
He's very much entitled as a HR. Yes.
He's entitled to the girl.
To the girl.
But now, what about the girl? What about the girl? The girl is innocent.
The girl is innocent, maybe even empowered. You see? Now I'm just trying to tell you how boys suffer out here.
That is suffering.
Yes.
Okay.
This boy is not going to have this job even if he has papers.
Here we have two men. We have two men here.
Yes.
We have man A, who is the employer.
Yes.
And then we have Madam A and the man who is B.
Yeah.
So man A is entitled.
Yeah.
Not empowered.
Yeah.
So that is why he will hire the young girl.
Yes.
Who was empowered enough to go for an interview, believe in herself and go for an interview, despite the fact that she's not empowered, right? No, sorry, the fact that she's not competent.
Yeah.
And then we have the guy who is competent, but can we say he's not empowered?
He's not he might be empowered, but now, you know, he will be neglected. You see, with this unempowered employee. You see the difference as to why we need to bring both genders on table when it comes to empowerment, be it old or young. These people, all of them need empowerment.
Yes.
That is why I'm trying to tell you.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So that the boy child needs to be empowered more.
Because now girls are more empowered. You can even take an example of performance nowadays, KCP and KCSE. Are you trying to analyze how our boys are being thrown away by these girls?
Well, yeah, I wouldn't say thrown away. I would just say the girls are doing their part. Because you see the girls are, we can't say they are over-empowered.
These girls are over-empowered. They're being told you have to work hard, you have to, they're being told like, you have to fight these boys.
Confidence.
Yes. They're being told you have to fight these boys. At mwanaume anakushinda aje. You see,
can we also say that this boy child knows he'll get it anyway? He's a man. Because
they have that mentality.
Opportunities whereby you know, si lazima nipate opportunity kwa sababu mimi ni mrembo. Si must.
I just used as an example.
I get it. Get it. The opportunities where you would be competent, but you won't get that opportunity because the employer feels like the man would do it better. And therefore, in as much as we are two of us in that setting of the interview, he will get it because he's a man. Okay, we've said not to pull that I am a woman card, but he'll get it because he's a man. Because they feel like he will deliver more. But I will not deliver more because I'm a woman. But then you see, you can't say that I am. Not what I was saying. The boys feel like they don't need to put in all that effort. See, they will still pass. See, they will still do better because it's innate. You were saying something.
They have that mentality, but still we have to tell them, not to tell them that you will pass because you are a man. You see, we should not encourage them because you are a man, because you are a man. Let's just tell them you have to compete favorably with your sisters in class. Yes. I want to see how you guys are going to bring out the results. If the girls maybe will be performing more than you, then you'll have to be punished. And because we have to tell them realities. We have to tell them, like these girls, maybe they get their menses, which is more painful to some of them. They have challenges, and we remind them, you boys, you don't get menses. So we tell them reality for them to see why they should be performing more than girls, but not just telling them, you are a man, you have to get A in mathematics. You are a man, why are you scoring more in languages when languages is meant for girls? Who said languages are meant for girls? That is what I'm trying to tell you. We have to tell them these girls have challenges. So you boys are better off than them. They will see the reason as to why we have to perform more than girls in a positive way. Yes.
Is it wrong for a woman to feel like it is the sole responsibility of a man to provide and protect? In this context, you're not married.
Okay, you are being too much entitled.
You see, like the way on social media, people have really driven the notion of, if I'm in a relationship, it's a responsibility to pay my bills. You have to pay my rent. You have to pay my electricity. We've seen that a lot, which is now where entitlement comes in, right? Then how do we work around it? How do we? Because it's really been pushed, and every woman now feels, for me to date you, you have to have a car. You have to have some sense of wealth, some amount of wealth.
For me, I feel if you want to get that man with a car, go and get him where you park yours.
I agree.
Yes, because you cannot be putting too much pressure on our boys and they're doing nothing.
You just wake up and sleep the whole day because your rent will be paid at the end of the month.
Let's say maybe you are age mates. Okay, where do you expect this man to be getting cash and you yourself you don't have? For me, I feel like even caning those girls who put much pressure on our boys, because at some point we'll be a mother, let's say so. How will you feel when your son is being given too much pressure to you have to buy me this and this? Why can't you work for your money? You have to be empowered to know I have to work for my money. I have, even when I need properties, I have to have them on my name because I have to work for what I want. Yes. Because these things are earned, not given. For me, I feel you should be having that mentality of earning things, not being given everything. Because when you have that mentality of being given, that is where you will find our ladies now are cheap. Because sugar daddies will come with money and they will just use them the way they want. Yes. Because they are much entitled to having things from this man. Yes.
So do you think the men are also enablers of the behavior?
Yeah. Me, I feel like we need to empower these men not to give women free money. Free money. Yes. They should not even give them cash or anything. They should remind them if they want cash, they have parents.
So basically, at the end of the day, we say you don't give them fish. Instead, teach them how to fish.
But some are not even getting it. Imagine these girls. They're still having that mentality of I have to be given, even if you try to teach them our shiki anything. Yes.
So as we go towards the end of the conversation, what do we do different to both the girl and the boy? Now we have a setting. We've talked about how we should talk to the girls and also how we should talk to the boys. But also, how do we treat them when they are all together? What should we do different? What can we do differently to make things better?
Okay, first, for me, I've done empowerment programs, and it is not easy to get these boys to these empowerment programs. It is very hard. So first, you have to do an analysis of how you are going to get these boys to be incorporated into this program. First, you have to try getting them in sports. That is where you will get a lot of boys and let's say men. Try to have some sports activities for them and bring a coach, let's say a man whom they will relate well with, because it is even hard to start empowering them as a woman. They will fear to tell you some of the things. Similar to ladies, they have some activities that they like. Try to get them, let's say during music festival or just create some debating club. Let them come and bring a person of their age whom they can relate with and tell them the issues they face. From that point, you will start now empowerment programs to both. Then, if these boys are now empowered, you can bring them together with these girls. So now they won't refuse because now they are empowered and they don't refuse to sit with the girls and listen. Now you bring both of them together. You get a lady and a gent, again, who is well trained, not just anyone who will come to tell them things that they will even wonder. These ladies who come and tell them, you should not date broke people, Now you get someone who is certified as a mentor to come and empower them. From there, things will change.
Things will be better.
Yeah.
So what structures do you think we can put in place, especially in schools and also organizations like yours? You have Yetu, What things do you think Yetu can do differently, to boost empowerment?
Okay, like for us Yetu, we usually visit schools. We set a day for, let's say, joint empowerment or a men's only empowerment, a girls only empowerment. That is what we do. And when we go there, let's say we are going to empower girls, we usually carry sanitary towels as a motive to make them come. Because not every girl will afford a sanitary towel.
Sure.
Yeah. When you have at least an incentive, they will come.
They will come, yes.
Yeah. And for boys, you can even have jersey, this football jersey. They will come. That is an incentive. He will be there and he will be asking questions.
You will find a way to engage them.
Before
they get their jersey.
They get the jersey. So somebody will be active in back in his mind. He wants to get this jersey. But for you,
to pay. You have to learn something.
Yes. Yeah. But for you, the goal will already have been achieved. Yes. because at the end, if you are going home with a 0 jersey, so you will be sure I have engaged this number of boys.
Yes.
And if they all answered questions and there is 0 jersey remaining, meaning they were active and they're empowered. Yes.
In the past, we used to have, when boys go for circumcision, girls used to go for initiation, whereby they are trained into womanhood, and then the boys obviously go through that process of being channeled into manhood. What happened to those conversations? I feel like they used to, what were they taught kwa initiation?
I feel it is still being practiced in Bukusu land, in
because
Bungoma.
I would say, you see, like us, we didn't go through it. I wouldn't say I went through such a thing.
Yeah, same to me. I didn't. And as you can see with this current parenting, even the parents are too busy to engage us. For me, I feel those things were necessary, and I feel they should be returned back, because that is where men or boys
learned how
to be men. But and girls also had their
lessons of how to be women.
But nowadays you'll find even a girl in university, she cannot cook. She doesn't even know what house.
We grew up with nannies.
Yes. These kids are Cerelac babies. They're pampered. That is why you see nowadays marriage even collapsing, because this girl has not even had enough time with the grandma, the mother, or any, let's say, a female role model who can empower her. This lady is being left behind with a house help. And a house help, of course, she will not get time to start educating you or empowering you on what to do as a woman. She will be busy with the house chores, and your mother will come late, maybe when you are sleeping. Tomorrow you will just join your fellow youths and will have discussions of your own. That is where now we are having ladies who are, or girls rather, who are not empowered enough. I think those initiation and circumcision programs that were being used to channel empowerment programs to the girls and boys should be brought back, I feel like.
Wow. Now as we wind up, maybe tell us about Yetu and the things we can do to participate in Yetu, and where we can find Yetu. Maybe you bring it from the beginning for people who've joined Tukiwa Katikati. Who is Yetu? Who is Yetu CBO?
Okay, Yetu CBO was founded in 2020, and our aim was to empower both boys and girls. And we are based in Busia, but still we do activities in Nairobi, because I stay in Nairobi. So for us, we usually give girls sanitary towels as a way of empowering them. That is just an incentive when we are giving them talks. And for the boys, we give them school shoes, we give them panties, we give them vests when we are empowering them. And we also have some programs that are usually done during holidays, like debating, public speaking, because we are trying to bring out a new generation that is self-driven, and it has more knowledge.
They are confident
than we are, because some of us, we never had such opportunities. That is why we felt like we should bring Yetu CBO so that at least youths have a place to be, because I feel at times youths are neglected, especially in our area Busia. They are focusing too much on the olds, and youths are being neglected. At the same time, youths have talents, and as Yetu CBO, we nurture those talents like football, music, and other things. We are on Facebook. You can check our page, Yetu CBO. There we have our number, or you can still inbox us on how to engage you.
Wow. As we wind up, maybe say something to us before I read some feedback.
Just anything.
Just anything.
Okay, to you girls and boys, I feel like it is the right time we just wake up from our comfort zone and start fighting for the positions we want and the opportunities that are available for us. We should not be entitled so much to things. And to you ladies in relationships, please, your boyfriend is not your ATM machine. Work for anything you want, and even surprise him. It is not a must that he's the one buying you things. Sometimes surprise him and your relationship will flow.
Wow. Well, before we wind up, allow me to read us some feedback. We have Avush Bernard. Good morning, WCW edition, tuned in live from the county of Bungoma. Thank you so much for joining us, Avush. Sylvester Stallone, good morning, WCW edition, tuned in live from county 035. Say hi to Akai Juliet, my mentor. Show iko fiti sana at Juliet Akai. We also have Calvin Aziz following. That's my sister there. Yeah. We have Mzalendo wa Roysambu. Ai Wongo. Kinadada have a lot of opportunities in this country just because they are female. I even wonder what they go for in Gulf. That's an interesting perspective. I even wonder what they go for in Gulf. Sasa shida huja ndani ya kiburi. Ikona kakun inaijita feminists. Those are bad. Well, I'd not say anything, to each their own. Everyone is entitled to their opinion. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
We appreciate even sharing with us your knowledge. Your personal social media platforms?
On Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram, I'm Juliet Akai.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Juliet. Thank you. Appreciated. Yeah. We hope to have you again and again in more of these conversations.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. We've come to the end of this conversation. We will be coming back shortly with the Kenyatta University peer counselors. Let's talk about how to deal with stress and challenges as a new campus student. See you after this short break.
WHO, an infant should be exclusively breastfed for up to 6 months of age. This ensures that the infant gets adequate nutrients and also protects them from various illnesses. And that's going to be our topic today on Focus on Health.
Breastfeeding is key, even to intelligence. We want to produce children who are also capable to perform well in school.
Hello everyone, this is the new chapter of Let's Be Fit. I'll be host DiCaplo. I'm here to give you various workouts. I'll be having different trainers. We'll have Zumba classes, we'll have aerobics classes, we'll have box exercise, we'll have kata box, just name them. The show comes every Thursday from 6:30 a.m. to 7 a.m. Keep it locked, make sure we keep fit, and that's it from me to you. Let's be fit.
Bila shaka, mbiu ya mgambo ikilia, kuna jambo. Na sasa, katika KU TV Rise Today, makala ya TBT. Tunaongeza kuni, tunawasha moto. Tunaingia barabarani kuangalia hali ilivyo. Takwimu za corona na kupa habari zinazojiri na zinazokuhusu na kujuza na kukumbusha yaliyotendeka siku kama hii ndani ya historia. Kisha na kuletea wageni na wataalamu, tudadavui, tufahamu na tuchukue nafasi yetu kama vijana katika uongozi, uchumi na masuala ya kisiasa nchini. Na joto likizidi, tunaingia uwanjani, tunachambua spoti ya Kenya. Ni kila Alhamisi saa 1 hadi saa 4 asubuhi, nami Vincent Maina almaarufu Ojwang mtoto wa Mariam, ndani ya KU TV, a new experience.
We bring you women who have done a tremendous job in the tech space.
Everybody was going for business, and the teachers would tell you, you know what, as a woman, try business or try agriculture. If you're a woman, follow your passion. Let passion be the drive for whatever it is that you're going to do. And remember, out here, people are here to support you.
Sasa ni bora zaidi, mwanzo mpya, mambo mapya. Msimu mwingine wa Boresha Kilimo unakuletea teknolojia ibuka, kilimo mseto, uongezaji thamani. Teknolojia dijitali ya mauzo inawezesha ufikiaji wa masoko. Soko moko yako, mahangaiko yako ya kufikia masoko yamefika kikomo, manake tunao Mkulima Yangu.
What Mkulima Yangu does is it connects farmers with the market.
Hii ni Boresha Kilimo kwa ushirikiano na Mkulima Yangu. Hatafutaye hachoki na kichoka kesha pata. Kwa makala maalum ya kilimo, ungana nasi kila Jumamosi saa 6:30 kwenye kipindi ukipendacho Boresha Kilimo.
According to WHO, an infant should be exclusively breastfed for up to 6 months of age. This ensures that the infant gets adequate nutrients and also protects them from various illnesses. And that's going to be our topic today on Focus on Health.
Breastfeeding is key, even to intelligence. We want to produce children who are also capable to perform well in school.
Maelfu na maelfu ya wahamiaji wakiwa na watoto kutoka nchi za Amerika ya Kati wanaendelea kuwasili kwenye mpaka kati ya Marekani na Mexico.
But folks, I'm going. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Ni habari kutoka pembe zote duniani.
Pepo pasi vuguvugu, pepo pani idea.
Sazidi ananyonya, hanyonyi vizuri, anakuwa hayuko comfortable.
Jeshi la Jamhuri ya Kidemokrasia ya Kongo linapambana na waasi wa ADF.
Kwa sasa wanatoa wito kwa mashirika, makampuni na vile vituo vya uchukuzi.
Mambo mengi yatakwenda kama yalivyopangwa.
Hapa ni kuna mmoja wa viongozi wa chama cha wavuvi katika eneo hili.
Zaidi tunajaribu kuwapa chanjo ili ina boost ama inanyanyua kinga ya mwili, ndio inaenda kupelekea kupambana na virusi.
Ni duniani leo, Jumatatu mpaka Ijumaa, moja kwa moja kutoka VOA Swahili, Washington DC.
Ukiwa na dukuduku la michezo, tunafungua sanduku la dukuduku kwa ufahamu zaidi. Kila danadana, mitimko, mifiatuko na harakati zote ugani, sisi ni wako mwandani. Kukurukakara zote nyanjani, haziwezi kuangaziwa zaidi ya micharazo michezoni. Mimi mwanaspoti wako matata Peter Pinches Mwaora, ndakuwa na jopo lenye maarifa sufufu, nikufahamishe na nikuburudishe wewe shabiki shakiki kwa uhakiki na kindakindaki.
Unemployment has hit you hard. Your salary is meager. You decide to venture into business, but you're struggling to thrive in it. you would want to reap a big tip on how not to run into losses.
Forget the preachy business vlogs, the hyperbolic motivational speeches, and all the roads down desperation.
Hope has come with model stories from small successful entrepreneurs. We tell you these tales weekly on The Budding Entrepreneur. Join us as we help you make your trade profitable and often smile to the bank.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for staying in with us up until this moment. I don't know what to say. Thank you. You can keep joining us in our social media platforms and sending in your feedback. Our social media handles are at KUTV Kenya on Instagram, KUTV_Kenya on Twitter, and at KUTV Kenya on Instagram. Now, I would love to read one more piece of feedback that I've just received. We have Sylvester Stallone. Why most young mothers, when they get their first child, they change completely ndio watafute maneno wakosane kwa ndoa, especially the first child akiwa a girl, wakisema wanaweza manage kukuza pia. Sijui kama akili ni changa ama ni aje. Please Juliet tueleze. Well, I'll leave this at that. I will not make a comment. Absolutely, I will say absolutely nothing. We will move forward. But if you have anything to say in regards to a response to this, please feel free. At KUTV Kenya is the page. At KUTV Kenya is who you will tag while you are giving us your responses. We had Juliet earlier on. She's taken us through the difference between empowerment and entitlement. And I would love to hear what our peer councillors here at KU have to say. What is the difference between empowerment and entitlement? Mary Kirago.
That was quite okay. But for me, entitlement is when a person is entitled, they feel as if it's a must. They get whatever they are after. If you are empowered, I tend to feel empowerment is more positive compared to entitlement. Yeah, that is what I have to say. That.
Stephen, what's the difference between empowerment and entitlement?
So I can say entitlement, the way she has just said, you feel like you must have it. Yeah, it is your right to have it. But empowerment is using the resources you have to make it happen. Use the resources to have to make whatever you want to occur to happen. Just for instance, I want just taking one example, like going for a women rep is entitlement to women. But going for an MP, because it is often said that women rep it is position for those who represent the interests of women in the assembly. But in the position of one example, going for an MP, variety, it is for her to get, if that woman get to be elected as MP, this is through empowerment.
Okay. So back again, let me now move back kidogo. We have our guests. These are the Kenyatta University peer councillors. They're here to take us through the conversation of dealing with mental stress and challenges as a new campus student. How do you go about everything, and how do you manage to take care of your mental health, and fight suicide? It is still Suicide Prevention Month. September is Suicide Prevention Month. So they will take us through this conversation and let us know how to go about all this, how to manage your mental stress and challenges, and by all means avoid succumbing to the pressure and the challenges and the stress. My guests today are Stephen and Mary Kirago. They've been here before so many times, and we're privileged to have them here again.
Thank you.
Maybe a quick one, Stephen. Maybe tell us, who is Stephen?
So Stephen Obiru is a fourth-year student in the School of Education, a peer counselor who is passionate about building the opportunities and empowering other people.
And who is Mary Kirago?
Okay. Mary Kirago is first of all a passionate mental health advocate.
Yes.
I'm also a peer counselor in Kenyatta University, a fourth-year student taking Bachelor of Arts in Psychology, and also a passionate sexual reproductive health advocate. And I'm glad to be here today.
Thank you so much for joining us. We start from the basics. What is suicide? What is suicide, Stephen?
So suicide is just the act of injury with the intent to kill. It's just that you have the intent, you have the intention of death. So anything you do in regards to having intention of death, it's considered as suicide. Yeah.
Mary, what is mental health?
Basically, according to World Health Organization, mental health is a state of mental well-being whereby a person is able to cope with the normal stresses of life and they are able to contribute fruitfully to their community. Yeah.
Stephen, maybe take us through what was the theme for this year's Suicide Prevention Month.
So this year basically it was on we are creating hope through action. This simply means that by doing the slightest things, just by making a call, giving somebody a hug to prevent that individual from committing suicide. The simple actions we do, it was just telling you the simple things you do to divert the mind of somebody from committing suicide.
Mary?
Okay.
How has this particular theme made a difference? What difference has it made this time?
Okay, so creating hope through action has been a triennial theme for suicide prevention since 2021. We're still observing it in 2022 and we'll also observe it in 2023. So creating hope through action basically is the small things that you do to make sure that, let's say for example, I have a suicidal friend, right? I as Mary, what is my obligation? My obligation will be to listen to that friend of mine and offer linkages to that friend of mine. Maybe connect them to a psychologist or a counselor or a psychiatrist so that they can know, even if they are going through a very tough time currently, there is hope at the end of the tunnel. There is light at the end of the tunnel. So by linking them, listening to them, that is hope, that is action. Yeah.
Stephen, why is there so much stigma around suicide? And what can we do to curb that stigma?
So on issue of the stigmatization, one, we have criminalized attempting suicide. We have made it to be a criminal, and
it's a criminal offense.
A criminal offense, and laws of the land say that is like an offense.
Which is true. It is an offense.
It is an offense. Like we have made it, we have criminalized it.
Yeah.
And what we should know that attempting suicide shouldn't be treated as a crime.
It's a call for help.
Yeah, it should be a call for help. It shouldn't be that when you hear this person attempted this, you're making him to feel like he had committed a great crime. Another thing that we are supposed to do is just getting things in order according to Constitution. And this takes me back to the enactment that was done to the prevention measures. What was done for the 2021 strategy, 2021-2026 strategy that were brought. They agreed that this is a time that we should not treat this thing as a crime, but instead we should have a system where it encourages research on suicide. After the research, we are supposed to have the national helpline system. Like if somebody has an issue, how do you get contact with the person? How can somebody get the assistance, the counseling assistance he or she needs? Yeah. We also have the issue of creating awareness. Awareness. When we can say we are having these sessions, but we don't have the awareness. We don't want to create this awareness. So the moment we create awareness on suicide and making it to be like it is not the end of life. Yeah. You try to segregate this person just because he or she was involved, had tried to attempt suicide. Yeah. And we must also know that we should not say that he was committing suicide. That is like we are discouraging this person. We should say it was an attempt. Another thing we should also do is just based on the media. Media, it is something that you wake up and you hear the first headline comes, so-and-so committed suicide. Yeah.
But doesn't attempted mean he attempted but then it did not pull through?
Your attempt, it didn't pull through.
Yeah.
Because when somebody attempts a suicide, I say that suicide, you have the intention of death.
Mm-hmm.
You have the intention of death.
But then if it pulls through, it means they actually committed.
They committed.
Yeah.
And that's what we are trying to say. If it goes through, he commits.
Mm-hmm.
But if it survives, yeah, as I can put it, that's not attempting. That's not committing. And so when now you hear that everything, we are relaying information on suicide in the media. You know, these people, some other people say, so if he attempted, we are giving this information of attempting. So that's also another thing, that and you wake up today, so and so attempted suicide, so and so took a poison. So this, it gives people idea that this is how it is being done. Let me try. Let me do now the specimen, and being the specimen. Finally, it won't be an attempt. It will be committing.
Mary, maybe tell us then what language should we use? What language should we use while we are addressing suicide? Because now, if there's that trigger when you're talking about attempting and committing, it means maybe the language we're using is a problem. So, what language is this we should use in regards to talking about suicide?
Okay, thank you very much, Nina, for that opportunity. When we are talking about suicide and then we talk of committing suicide, we are criminalizing the act. And by the time a person is attempting suicide and dying by suicide, if they attempt and then die when they have attempted suicide, then we talk of die by suicide. They attempted suicide, maybe it was not successful, so that is attempt suicide. If they actually died by it, then we talk of died by suicide. So when we are talking about suicide, we should use empathetic language. We should avoid saying committing suicide, because the moment we are saying committing, we are criminalizing the act. And by the time a person is dying by suicide, they did not do so because they wanted to. They tried seeking for help, but maybe there was nobody there to help them, or maybe the people who were there were not really listening to them. So we should be very empathetic and try to help these people. Yeah.
Stephen, what are some of the signs of suicide? What are some of the signs of an individual who is trying to die by suicide?
So the first thing, this person often says, I want to die. That's the common phrase they'll use. I want to die. I wish I were dead. When you get that, that's a sign.
They talk about it.
Dead. I want to die. And if you don't take it serious, tomorrow you'll hear so-and-so is dead.
Oh.
So I want to die. Sometimes I'm tired with life. I'm just tired with life. And I think this person was in a midst. So we were like in a group, like for instance, now we are 3 of us. So we often work together. If we are from lecture hall, we work as a group. And now suddenly it starts withdrawing from you. That was the withdrawal.
Okay.
Yeah. So he or she begins to withdraw from this.
You can see some behavioral
change. Some behavioral change.
Yeah.
So there's another thing you can also identify with this person. This person has hopelessness. He experiences hopelessness. He's just stuck. He just feels stuck. Everything he does, he feels, no, it's not going my way.
Nothing is working.
Nothing is working for me.
Yeah.
So when you experience that also will lead to the withdrawal part. So once it is not working his way, for example, there's a cut is given and he doesn't take it. Yeah. So he starts to feel, I'll get a retake. Yeah. So he starts to withdraw. With that withdraw, he say, what will I tell my parents? So he starts to feel hopelessness that they won't get me. Yeah. So he just feels stuck. The other thing also I can say about the signs is that this person does the behaviors that are insinuating that he wants to die. Somebody takes alcohol, too much alcohol.
Yeah.
This person he stocks drugs, things that can make him easily attempt the suicide. If somebody buys a poison, right. Yeah. The other individual is once this person has a rope within the house, because it is not just committing suicide involves 3 things. That is, 1, you can use firearms. 2, you can also hang, by the process of hanging. And also 3 is using the drugs. So when you overdose, this person now is overdosing, like the process is stocking these things. When you stock it, in any moment you'll feel again hopeless. The only thing you'll hope for is death. And death, he has the poison, he put rat there.
He has a solution to his problems.
He claims not he has. He claims
to have solutions to his problems.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Miri, how do we prevent suicide? How do we prevent it?
Okay, so the first step in preventing suicide, maybe I'd say, is availing mental health services, and this goes for our government most especially, because when you talk of therapy is very expensive. Yeah, but then again, there's what the government is doing to try and make sure they are bridging that gap, because in Nairobi County, if I may talk for Nairobi, in each and every sub-county in Nairobi, we have a mental health and psychosocial unit. For example, in Langata sub-county, we have Mbagathi Hospital. So one way of preventing suicide is availing mental health services, and also creating hope by, just like what I had said, I can maybe refer to it again, referring people to a psychologist, or maybe a professional mental health advocate, or maybe a psychiatrist, and also addressing the underlying psychiatric conditions. We can also create advocacy, like just what we are doing now, training people about the signs and symptoms they should be on the lookout, just in case they have a loved one who is suicidal. Yeah, those are some of the things that we can do to prevent suicide. And also there's something called no means no suicide. So the moment maybe you go to a medical doctor and then you're diagnosed with a certain illness, you're usually given some medications, right? And then after taking the medications, you get better. So after you're done taking the medications, the pills that remain, it is usually advisable to discard them, because the moment you keep them there, kwa store, and then this one time you feel so low and you feel like your life is meaningless, it will be so fast for you to go and, go and take your pills from and overdose and then die. So no means no suicide. And then again, we can increase our social connectedness, because the more you are out there with friends, connecting with people, they can tell. Yeah, they can tell, Nina, you're not okay. Obiero, there's something wrong. So it's good to be out there with friends, and sometimes, get to hang out with them, talk about your issues and lessen these issues. Yeah.
Stephen, attempting suicide is an offense by law. Yes. Do you think it is? Because personally, I've met some people who have been jailed because they attempted suicide. Is this making it worse, or is it a problem solved by the government?
So in line to laws and restriction, laws has both edge. It is a sword that cuts both sides. So on regards, it can be positive and it can be negative. But in at times, we can say these laws, the laws and restriction, even in a business, it is in a business structure, we can say that when a law is implemented, it is there for the good of the nation. However, the law there, the issue is now not the law. The issue is, it is us making it to seem as a crime. When we have made it a crime, us talking, when now we do the advocacy, it makes that person feels that I was doing a crime. If I'm caught, I'm eligible, I'm caught to be culpable for this offense, I'm supposed to be arrested. I need to escape the arrest because I want to get the bail. So the next thing this person will do, another day. So it is good in regards to making people not to do it.
Yeah.
However, other people also they like experimenting. Let me experiment it. If I'm caught, I see the consequences. Because the person doing this, meaning the person attempting this, he has felt low. So other people will also do it, so that at least he'll be taken to jail. Yeah, he try that other life that side, if that can work for him. But in other sides, the laws as to say it can either be positive or negative.
Maybe allow me to throw that question to you as well. Do you think it's positive or negative that attempting suicide is punishable by law?
Personally, to me, I think it's negative, because as from where I sit as a psychologist, when a person is attempting suicide and maybe dies by suicide, they're not doing so because they really wanted to do so. They're doing so because they have an underlying mental health condition. Maybe they have depression. So arresting this person because
it's like you're arresting them because they are depressed.
The only crime was being depressed. The only crime was maybe they had bipolar or maybe schizophrenia, right? So the best thing for me, or maybe out there, the best thing will be to that person to be taken to a psychiatrist or a psychologist. They'll be diagnosed maybe with major depressive disorder, and then after maybe 1 year or 2 years, they have undergone psychotherapy sessions, they have been given their medications, and they are better. Instead of arresting them, wakai kwa jela for 10 years, and we are not helping them.
Making the situation worse.
Exactly.
Okay. Stephen, let's now bounce back into the conversation for dealing with mental stress and challenges, especially for the newly new campus students. These kids are wakona stress because they want to pick in, they want to fit in, they want to be like everyone they have found already in campus. How do they tell the difference of what to do and what not to do? What is worthy of their time and what is not?
So on dealing with mental health, what we must say that we must also accept one thing, that the newly admitted students, they are now, you realize that most of them were in I can say they were not having the freedom they're now having.
Yes.
Yeah. So when these people are coming now to the new field, they feel I'm now liberated. I don't have my mom who tells me that you come back to the house at this time and this time. So these also have, well, in this regards, they let them meet the wrong people, like, because in this world we have two people. They want for you the best and they want for the worst. So in regards this first year, or the newly admitted student meets the individual with wrong motives in a line that the person is there like to do some sort of revenge or whatsoever. They'll have this stress. So the first thing they should do is knowing yourself, accepting who you are. Accepting who you are. Like once you've known yourself, you know that I'm here for this and this. My background back there. Because mimi haitakuwa poa umeuziwa shamba wanauza ng'ombe kufunza ng'ombe. That's another thing that we should understand. So with that, itakuwa like we are not going this direction. Yeah. And you know, now this is the problem now. Once you know yourself, you know the background where you come from. You have now accepted who you are. Yeah. The next thing is look for the support system. And that's why we are here, peer counselors.
Yes.
And our motive is we listen, we care.
Yeah.
Listening, we care. Meaning we won't judge you in whatever you tell us. It remains with us confidential. So whenever somebody feels that, you know, when you talk in this line of mental health, the problem is become, after I'm telling Steven, he'll judge me. Now when you come there, people are trained. And if you feel student can't handle you, we have also trained counselors within our support system. And so seeking a support system, this is a support system that will enable you to walk this journey.
Yeah.
And it is, I always say, it is the wrongest thing to be a specimen. Get it from other people. When you hear somebody say that I'm disturbed, just get it from them. Once it hits you, it will either take the wrong direction or the right direction. But before taking in the right direction or the wrong direction, kindly seek for the support system. And I sum it up as avoid if necessary, accept, understand yourself, and in all adapt the situation that we have. Just adapt in the situation. It's a new situation. You're in a new system. You want to explore the liberty in it. But at the end of the day, if you can avoid. If you can't avoid, adapt the system.
Adapt and adjust.
Adapt and adjust to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mary, according to who? According to the World Health Organization, it is said that 24% of men die of suicide. You said die from suicide? Die by suicide, thank you. They die by suicide compared to women who die by suicide. 8% die by suicide. Out of 100,000 people. Is it that men are more stressed than women? And do we see that in schools a lot? Like, for instance, in campuses, schools basically?
Okay, actually there's something very interesting because when you talk about depression, maybe before I answer you, more women tend to be more depressed compared to men. But then again, we see more men dying by suicide compared to women who are more depressed. Then maybe you'll ask why is that?
And how?
Why and how? Because, okay, men, according to the way they have been socialized to bottle up their issues. Jikaze kimwanaume, when you mwanaume, you see a small bro crying or maybe your child and you're like, men don't cry. You have to masculinate your feelings, you know, such things. And then when men are attempting suicide, they tend to use more lethal means, maybe by shooting themselves. Women sometimes maybe anatumia dawa ya minyoo ya ng'ombe, but sometimes they don't even, you know, it's not successful, right? Yeah, but I'd say the reason as to why more men are dying by suicide is because they are using more lethal means, and then again bottling up their issues. it's okay for men to be vulnerable. It's okay for them to cry. It's okay for them to go and seek support from a psychotherapist. But then again, the way we have socialized them is to, you have to be strong.
You're a man.
You're a man. Man up.
Man up. Jikaze kimwanaume.
Exactly.
Steven, as we wind up, maybe say something to the audience.
So in
terms of suicide awareness?
In terms of suicide awareness, what I can say is, despite the challenges we have, great victory will always come in form of misfortune and in form of problems. Having lived this life being bitter, it is time for us to be better and get transformed. We should no longer be crocs, but we should be game changers. Whenever somebody settles and shares an issue with you, be a support system to that individual. If you can't encourage him or her to seek a education support, so we should have a social support within the structure, and that's why peer counselors were here. We are here to offer that support. Apart from that, when you realize that it involves cognitive therapy, we have the psychologist, because cognitive is dealing with the part of the mental part. So if you realize that these are things that will take a longer time, you can't handle it, kindly refer. Those I thank you.
Wow. Miri, maybe as you give us your last remark, maybe also tell us where we can find your offices and how and what other services you provide.
Okay. Thank you, Nina. First, I'd love to say that it's okay not to be okay, but then again, it's not okay to remain that way. Let people know that conversations do change lives. Whenever you feel, we have normalized the fact that maybe if I have a headache or maybe I have a headache or something, I'll go and see the doctor, right? So whenever you feel like something is stressing you and you feel like you're not okay, normalize going to see a therapist or a psychiatrist. And we have said that the government provides such services for free. So conversations do change lives, and where you can find me, Mary Kirago. You can find me on Instagram _Mary Kirago, Facebook Mary Kirago. Our offices are located in BSSC room 272, and then again, maybe for those people who are not in Kenyatta University, we have Red Cross offering those psychosocial support. You can text support via this number 20767, or you can call 1199, and it's absolutely free.
Please take us through the numbers again.
For Red Cross, you can text support through this number 20767, or you can call them via 1199, and it's absolutely free.
For those who may not understand, you text the word support to 2067.
Yeah.
Wow, thank you so much for joining us. I have feedback from Grace Fossa. Great show and good job, KUPR counselors. Thank you so much for tuning in, Grace Fossa. Thank you so much for joining us and for gracing our show today and blessing us with your knowledge. Looking forward to having you again and again. Stephen and Mary, thank you so much for tuning in. We've come to the end of the show today. Continue keeping it KUTV. You can keep sending in your feedback, opinions, and maybe what you would want us to bring to you and want us to have as a conversation here. I will see you tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. right here at KUTV on Beyond Limits. I have been your host, Nina Gikunda. Thank you so much for the entire Rise Today team. Tumeshukuru sana. I'll see you next week, same time, same place. I will see you. Also, we have Ojwang Mariam tomorrow and Friday. Rise Today does not end right here. We have Makala ya TBT tomorrow and Entertainment Friday. And also we're keep voting for them. Keep voting for them as the host of the year. You can vote for Ojwang Mariam on the People's Choice Awards. We will be sharing all this on our social media platforms. Keep in touch at KUTV Kenya on Facebook, KUTV_Kenya on Twitter, and at KUTV Kenya on Instagram. I have been your amazing host, Nina Gikunda. Adios, stay safe, stay mentally healthy.